Ecuador is often overlooked as a travel destination, but it offers some of the most spectacular landscapes and wildlife. From the colonial charm of the capital to insane wildlife, after a month exploring the country, we're sharing the best spots with you. So here are our top 10 places you can't miss in Ecuador. Number 1. Cotopaxi Volcano. Ever dreamed of standing on top of an active volcano? How about climbing one? In Ecuador, you can do just that. The Cotopaxi volcano is Ecuador's second highest peak, rises nearly 20,000 feet or 5,900 meters above sea level, and is one of the world's highest active volcanoes. If you're up for a challenge, you can hike all the way to the summit of Cotopaxi. It usually takes about 2 days and you'll need some glacier hiking experience, but imagine the bragging rights. For most mortals though, a shorter hike up to the snowline is a popular option. You'll still get breathtaking views, and as a bonus, you could warm up with a steaming cup of hot cocoa at the refuge. Our personal favorite activity in Cotopaxi National Park was a half-day horse trekking that we did through the grasslands and rugged terrains of the Altiplano, the highlands of Ecuador. We crossed rivers and navigated scenic trails with the volcano looming in the background. Whether you're an experienced rider or a beginner, horseback riding here is suitable for everyone. We paid $25 each for a 2-hour tour with a local guide. Now let's move on to Quito, the world's highest capital. Quito will exceed your expectations, from the narrow cobblestone streets to panoramic views of snow-capped peaks. One of the coolest buildings in the city is the Basilica del Voto Nacional. This stunning neo-Gothic church is not only the largest of its kind in South America, but also offers incredible views from the towers. As you climb to the top, you'll be rewarded with a panoramic vista of the city. Trust me, the climb is totally worth it. It's also Nate's favorite church ever because it has a bar where they sell beers and cocktails. Quito's narrow streets are lined with centuries-old buildings, and the entire area was declared a UNESCO Heritage Site. As you stroll along the cobblestone streets, you'll be surrounded by well-preserved colonial architecture that tells the story of Quito's rich past. One of our favorite spots was the Plaza San Francisco, where you'll find the church and convent of St. Francis, the city's oldest building. It dates back to the 1500s and took almost 150 years to complete. Ecuador is famous for its chocolate, and you haven't been to Quito unless you sampled at least a dozen different chocolates in one of their chocolate shops. Our favorite one was this small family-run business that cultivates its own cacao beans and makes its chocolate from scratch. We got to taste all the chocolate we wanted, and the prices were a lot cheaper than the overpriced touristy shops. For a different perspective of Quito, take the Teleférico. This cable car takes you halfway up the Pichincha volcano and offers magnificent views of the city. On a clear day, you can see up to 5 snow-capped volcanoes in the distance. Coming up next, Mindo cloud forest and waterfalls. One of the highlights of our time in Ecuador was the cloud forest of Mindo. This is a seriously magical place nestled in the heart of Ecuador. Known for its lush greenery, cascading waterfalls, and the symphony of birdsong, Mindo feels like stepping into another world. Adventure seekers can explore the canopy with ziplining tours or hike to a series of waterfalls tucked away deep in the forest. To reach these waterfalls, you first need to take an exciting ride on the Tarabita, a bright yellow cable car that glides high above the treetops. Suspended over the rushing Rio Nambillo, this cable car offers a thrilling experience, providing panoramic views of the lush green valley and surrounding mountains as you zip across the canyon at high speed. Fun fact, the engine for this cable car actually came straight out of a cargo van. The guy who operates it even pushes gas and brake pedals just like you would in a normal van. Once you step off the cable car, the adventure really begins. A network of hiking trails winds its way through the dense forest, leading you to a series of stunning waterfalls. The most popular route takes you to Cascada Nambillo, a powerful waterfall that cascades into a clear, refreshing pool. Next up, Cajas National Park. Further south in Ecuador, there's Cajas National Park. With over 200 lakes and lagoons scattered across its grasslands and rolling hills, Cajas offers a unique ecosystem that's unlike anything else in South America. One of the best things about Cajas National Park is that it caters to all fitness levels. You can walk an easy loop along the shore of some of the lakes, while more challenging routes take you up the breathtaking viewpoints. But what we loved most about Cajas, the wildlife. Andean condors, which have an impressive wingspan of up to 10 feet or 3 meters, often glide overhead. And you might spot wild llamas or alpacas grazing peacefully on the hillsides or just standing in the middle of the road like we did. For those who love to fish, Cacas has got you covered. The park's crystal clear lakes are perfect for casting a line or two. It's a peaceful way to spend an afternoon surrounded by stunning mountain scenery. Now, next up, this place is world famous and on many people's bucket lists, the Galapagos Islands. The Galapagos are a breathtaking archipelago located about 600 miles or almost 1,000 kilometers off Ecuador's coast. This unique destination is famous for inspiring Charles Darwin's theory of evolution, as the islands are home to an incredible array of wildlife that you won't find anywhere else on Earth. Imagine snorkeling in crystal clear waters alongside playful sea lions, graceful turtles, and colorful fish. Look up and you might spot a Galapagos penguin zipping through the water. These tiny penguins are the only penguin species found north of the equator. On land, keep an eye out for marine iguanas basking on the rocks. These prehistoric-looking reptiles are the world's only seagoing lizards. And don't forget to watch where you step, you might just stumble upon a giant Galapagos tortoise lumbering along. One of the most iconic residents of the islands is the blue-footed booby. These quirky birds are known for their striking blue feet, which they show off in elaborate mating dances. The Galapagos also tops many lists of best scuba diving destinations. Here you can dive with massive schools of baitfish that attract many bigger fish and even large ocean-dwelling predators. At the famous dive sites Wolf and Darwin, you can even dive with massive schools of hammerhead sharks and, with a bit of luck, see whales underwater. Make sure to check your bank account though before booking the trip, because remote places like this can get really expensive really fast. Next up on our list, the Amazon jungle. The Amazon is home to an incredible variety of plants and animals, many of which you won't find anywhere else in the world. One of the best ways to experience the Amazon is by taking a guided tour through the jungle. Expert local guides will lead you through winding trails, pointing out fascinating plants and animals along the way. Keep your eyes peeled for bright toucans, mischievous capuchin monkeys, and if you're lucky, you might spot a slow-moving sloth high up in the tree line. Our favorite part of visiting the Amazon jungle was a boat ride in a traditional boat on the Amazon River, going down the winding river system that crisscrosses the rainforest. We were even lucky enough to see the elusive gray dolphins on our boat ride. Yes, there are dolphins in the Amazon River. We also spotted a wildlife rescue center where locals take care of animals that were smuggled or kept as pets illegally, like sloths and even anacondas. It's a great way to learn about these animals. For those looking to dive deeper into the Amazon's rich culture, many tours offer visits to indigenous communities. Here you can learn about ancient traditions, sample local cuisine, and gain a new perspective on life in the rainforest. And if you're feeling a bit adventurous, why not try your hand at piranha fishing? Don't worry, it's not as scary as it sounds. These famous fish are actually quite small, and fishing for them is just a fun way to connect with the local ecosystem. Next up, Mitad del Mundo. This next place is one where you can literally stand with one foot in each hemisphere. Just a short drive north of Quito, you'll find the Mitad del Mundo monument, which marks the equator line. This popular tourist spot lets you straddle the line between the northern and southern hemispheres, making for a unique photo op. The monument itself is impressive, surrounded by well-maintained green spaces and trees, making it a pleasant space to spend an afternoon. However, Ecuador had a bit of an epic fail here. Thanks to modern GPS technology, we now know that the actual equator line is approximately 240 meters or almost 800 feet north of the fancy Mitad del Mundo monument. But still, this place is pretty cool, and if you consider how big the world is, being off by a few hundred feet is only a little bit off. Up next, Otavalo Market. This is the Otavalo Market, the largest outdoor market in South America, located at 2,500 meters or 8,300 feet above sea level. Ecuador is home to many indigenous communities who travel from across the highlands to sell their goods here. From fruits and vegetables to alpacas and livestock, Otavalo offers a unique, authentic glimpse into Ecuadorian life. This isn't a tourist market, it's where locals come to shop. As you wander through, you'll see people in traditional dress, hear indigenous languages, and feel the energy of centuries-old trading practices. The market is at its best on Saturday when it expands into the surrounding streets. Make sure to try some local food here. Empanadas, roasted corn, traditional indigenous dishes like this one with braised pork, a fried banana, and a spicy tomato sauce are just a few of the things you can try here. In addition to food, Otavalo vendors sell vibrant handmade textiles like scarves, alpaca sweaters, and ponchos. You'll also find beautiful handcrafted items made by indigenous tribes, perfect for souvenirs. We picked up handmade ponchos for under $20 each. Moving on to number 9, Mindo birdwatching. Now, Mindo is a paradise for bird lovers, and I know what you're thinking. That sounds a bit boring, but not here. The Cloud Forest is home to an incredible variety of bird species, over 500 in total. You can often spot toucans with their iconic colorful beaks perched high up in the treetops, calling out across the valley. We recommend visiting San Tadeo Birding, which is run by a family who kind of made a bird sanctuary in their backyard. One of the most memorable experiences we had in all of Ecuador was the hummingbird viewing platform at San Tadeo. Dozens of these tiny, vibrant hummingbirds were darting from feeder to feeder, their wings a blur as they sipped on the sugar water. The best part, if you put a bit of sugar water in your hand, the hummingbirds will drink right from your palm. This kind of thing usually only happens in Disney movies, but here it's real. Whether you're an avid birdwatcher or simply like nature, this is super cool. And now, Cuenca. Welcome to Cuenca, often called Ecuador's most beautiful city and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. I read online that if you were to ask the people of Cuenca about their city, they would tell you it's cleaner, more laid back, and has better food than the capital of Quito. As you wander the historic center, you're blown away by the sheer number of ornate churches and charming plazas that this city has. The centerpiece is the massive Catedral de la Inmaculada Concepción with its iconic blue domes, the Cathedral of Immaculate Conception. Now, here's something that might surprise you. You know those Panama hats that are so famous? Well, they actually originated right here in Cuenca in Ecuador. We got to watch local artisans crafting these hats, and it's amazing to see the skill and dedication that goes into each one. Now, you can even manage to buy a handmade hat for just $25. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on our future travel guides. And we'll see you in the next one.